Man, you take one day off to go to the beach. It was 100 degrees in Jersey, so I pre-taped Wednesday's show on Monday so I could go to the beach Tuesday, and there's like all kinds of news. I mean, good problem to have because I got plenty to talk about today, but I'm sitting there on the beach watching my inbox, and I'm like, really? Come on, why today? All right, Marc Maron. He's kind of had it with the whole Andrew Schulz thing. I told you about Andrew Schulz the other day. Marin put out in his newsletter, I'll try and do this in a Marin-ish, not impression, but I'll try and do his cadence. This is it, people. It's finally here. American authoritarianism with a fully functioning fascist cultural apparatus. We did it. Took us about 250 years, but we did it. I'm not sure which was more horrendous and damning, the deploying of troops to L.A. or the bombing of Iran, but they're of a kind. Orders of a leader who cares nothing about the people of this country and is autocratically creating a government that serves only his whims and power. This is at the cost of democracy and feeds the fire of inhumanity for his myopic, brutal, and dangerous followers. We get to live in real fear all the time now, not made up or generated internally, but actual terror of our government and our fellow Americans. Sorry, don't want to be grim, but the unconstitutional attack of Iran and LA will put in place the machinery to make this a military dictatorship. I hope all those people that voted for this passively and based in emotions are happy and proud of the America we're becoming, where pain feeds their excitement and corruption and moral bankruptcy becomes their proud day-to-day way of moving through the world. I hope all the anti-woke comics are happy about pushing this all through. The big question is, when will they shut up about trans people, intellectually challenged people, immigrants, the disabled, and minorities? I mean, they won. The policies they were supporting, whether they knew it or not, are happening. I hope you can now stop playing the victim and just enjoy the amazing lack of diversity and diminishment of human rights and collective fear you've supported because it's here. I assume you'll just keep at it. It's one thing to mock the weak and another thing to celebrate their pain and deaths. I assume you have nothing else. Now that what you made has become hack, you can just go back to the standard hack model. Marin made similar comments in the opening to Monday's podcast with guest Jordan Klepper. It is believed a lot of this, obviously the news over the weekend with Iran, but a lot of this is also about the Andrew Schulz piece from the New York Times over the weekend. I talked about that on Tuesday's podcast. In the Times piece, Andrew Schulz told the Times he feels comfortable saying the R word. Schulz explained, if a parent ever said, that word hurts me and I want you to not say it, I'm never going to say it in front of them. I don't want to hurt you. That's not my goal. But if they're like, I don't want you to ever say it again in your life, that's not going to happen. In other Marc Maron news, his new special will stream on HBO Max starting April 1st. It is entitled Marc Maron Panicked. Marin says, I feel this is the best work I've done. Everything came together, the direction, the production design, the shirt, and the bits. HBO gets me, and I'm thrilled to be presented by them. Now, this is interesting. It will air at 8 o'clock Eastern, not 10 o'clock. Well, that's cool. The other big news, normally this would be the lead, but somebody went to the beach. Shane Gillis is hosting the 2025 ESPY Awards. That is awesome. Shane told The Hollywood Reporter, I'm excited to be at the ESPYs this year. I like sports, so this should be a good time. He's like the perfect host for that, too. And good content for the podcast. Craig Lazarus is the executive producer of the ESPYs. He said Shane is not only one of the top comedians today, but also a huge sports fan, which made him an easy choice to host the ESPYs. We're thrilled to work with him, blah, blah, blah. We then recap Shane's career. You know, SNL podcast doing just fine. Speaking of podcast, Deadline has a new one. This is interesting. It is called Comedy Means Business. So it shows just how big the comedy industry has gotten. The leadoff guest is Nate Brize. I talked about this in the Facebook group, and I'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. You can just tell that Nate's people are pushing the heck out of Nate right now. Every now and then, the industry gets together and decides this person's next. If you listen to the show every day, we see a couple of these, maybe twice, 3 times a year. But right now, everybody's in on Nate, and we're pushing Nate. And you're going to like Nate. Nate's a superstar. And if you don't like that, too bad, because here's another article. And I like Nate, but it's like, tap the brakes, people. Tap the brakes. On the podcast, Nate says he's moving away from the all-consuming nature of the most expansive globe-trotting touring a comic can do. He'll do so now because he understands how much obsession you have to have, how much focus you have to get to where he is currently, and what he needs to do to achieve the same level of success with the ventures he takes on next. Nate's hosting the Emmys in September, so more push. The Comedy Means Business podcast every other week on Monday. Although for the first month, they're doing a pod every Monday. The Nate one is out. I just discovered this as I put the show together this morning, so I haven't listened to it yet. Next week's episode is called Long Live the State, a documentary on the iconic sketch group of the State. Beth Stilling will have a special called The Landlord, July 2nd on the streaming platform Veeps. There will also be an audio version. I always like that on August 1st. The Landlord was filmed in Denver. and described as a story-heavy caboose about nosy, unhinged landlords. If you've ever had to pay irritating lunatics in exchange for shelter, then this is the special for you. I like that a lot. Stelling hopes everyone watching laughs so loudly they make their downstairs neighbor jealous. And let's clear this out. This has been around all week. Margaret Cho, for some reason, talking about Ellen. Cho recently revealed Ellen was really weird, not nice to me for most of my career. I opened for her in the 1980s when she was a headliner in comedy clubs. Later, when I would do her talk show in the 2000s, she would act like we just met. And I'm like, bitch, what? That's weird. We go way back. It's so creepy and weird. Wow, I can't believe Ellen isn't a nice person. Did we know this? Tina Fey and Amy played Atlantic City over the weekend. They opened with a rapid-fire monologue similar to what they do with the Golden Globes. Tina told the crowd, Ben Affleck is not here. He's home going through his contacts looking for more Jennifers to bother. It's a little hacky. Tina, that's a hack joke. Tina, come on. That's hack. Probably played well with the crowd, but that's a hack joke. Amy Poehler on Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman is not here tonight. She's too busy being in every single movie and TV show in her name. Whoa, Amy. Are you making fun of people? Are you appropriating the Nicole Kidman character? Whoa. Los Angeles is going to disown you. You better fall on your sword like you did last week for whatever it is you feel guilty about doing on SNL. Whew, what a brutal swipe at Nicole Kidman. Who are you, Joe Coy? Tina Fey's turn. Leo DiCaprio is not here, I assume because Amy and I have a combined age of 105. And then the entire reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a Meghan Markle joke, and I'm the writer on the Palace Intrigue podcast where we talk about the royal family 7 days a week and often make fun of Meghan Markle. And unlike Amy Poehler, I don't feel guilty at all. Amy Poehler, though, going full Joe Coy here, said Meghan Markle's not here tonight. She's putting flour sprinkles on cookies, and Piers Morgan is furiously rage masturbating about it. Wow, boy, you better apologize to Piers Morgan. What a vicious... Amy Poehler, what has gotten into you? Unbelievable. We're going to have to cancel Amy Poehler for these vicious jokes. Friend of the show, Gianmarco Ceresi, his podcast must be doing pretty well. It's called The Downside, and it's moving to HeadGum. Gianmarco said, I'm so jazzed to bring our listeners the one thing they've always complained our podcast is missing, ad reads. I feel you. Otherwise this is just an expensive hobby, as I like to say. Are you watching Love Island? Everyone in my house under the age of me is watching Love Island. This is like the biggest topic in the house. And I'm like, what are you people watching? What are you talking about it? And then I go down to the basement and record podcasts. Ian Sterling, comedian and voice behind Love Island USA, is returning to the U.S. with a brand new stand-up comedy show, Ian Sterling Live. My kids will be excited. He'll be in L.A. on October 22nd and New York City October 29th. Sterling told Deadline, hopefully people that have enjoyed me on Love Island and particularly enjoyed my voice, just sort of seeing what I've been doing for 15 years, which is stand-up. It's my chance to show America this is what I do, and I'm not just a guy in a dark room behind a microphone. And that is your comedy news for today. I can't even imagine what Amy Poehler is going to do next. She's really out there. I mean, those jokes were just vicious. She should apologize. Just terrible. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.